were constructed, maintained, widened, upgraded, and rehabilitated. One of the notable completed projects of the DPWH is the Laguna Lake Highway, which has a protected bike lane to promote active transport and zero carbon footprint. Other completed road projects include the Ordinata City Bypass Road in Pangasinan and the Pulilan-Baliwag Diversion Road, Bulacan, the Lucena City Underpass in Quezon, the Palo West Bypass Road in Leyte, the Valencia Bypass Road in Bukidnon, and many others. The Department of Tourism DPWH Convergence Program, or the Tourism Board Tourism Road Infrastructure Program, is aligned with the strategic direction of the National Tourism Development Plan to improve access and connectivity to tourism gateways, service centers, and tourism sites. As of December of 2020, 2,192 kilometers of tourism roads have been completed. The 9.8 kilometer Sabangan-Sagada Road in Mountain Province is targeted to be completed next year. This will provide easy and safe access to famous tourist spots up north, such as the Hanging Coffins and the Sumaging Cave. Construction and upgrading of the 22-kilometer Boracay Circumferential Road will reduce travel time from Tacpan Port to Iligan Beach from 1 hour and 15 minutes to just 30 minutes. The Department of Trade and Industry has also partnered with the DPWH to implement the Roads Leveraging Linkages for Industry and Trade, or ROLINT program, which aims to enhance road connectivity that links industry and trade centers in priority economic and manufacturing zones in the country. As of December of 2020, 606 kilometers of access roads leading to industries and trade corridors were completed. One of the priority ROLINT projects is the Poro Point Freeport Zone Road in La Union, which was completed last December of 2020. Linkages towards seaports, airports, and railway stations are also constructed under the Kalsada Tungo sa Paliparan, Piles, at Daungan, or Katuparan program. 406 kilometers of road were completed under this program, which aims to further augment the logistics, transport, and economic activities in all these key transport hubs. The Daba Port, Consuelo Corazon's Station, Cruz, and General Luna Road in Siargao Island is targeted to be completed in June of 2021. It enhances the accessibility and mobility of tourism, people's goods and services in the country's world-renowned surfing capital. The much-needed boost in our agriculture industry will be augmented by the Agri-Infrastructure Support Program. Under this program, farm-to-market or local road networks are also being built and improved to service our farmers in the countryside in order to ensure food security. As of December 2020, 1,835 kilometers of farm-to-market roads were constructed and improved. The Inter-Island Linkage Mega Bridge Program will provide linkages among the various islands of the country through the construction of short and long-span bridges. Among the projects under this program is 3.17 kilometer Pangil Bay Bridge, 3.9 kilometer Samar Island Davao City Bridge, the 32.15 kilometer Bataan-Cavite Interlink Bridge, and then the 3.3 kilometer Cebu-Mactan Bridge. The completion of the Pangil Bay Bridge will reduce travel time between Tubod, Mindanao del Norte, and Tangub in Misamis Occidental from 2.5 hours to just 7 minutes. The Metro Manila Logistics Improvement Program involves the construction of new bridges crossing Pasig and Marikina rivers and Mangahan floodway. New alternative linkages between major thoroughfares will be constructed to increase the number of usable roadways that would decongest traffic in EDSA and other major roads in Metro Manila. The BGC Ortigas Central Link project is now 80% complete. Travel time between BGC and Ortigas Central Business District will be reduced to just 12 minutes. This year, we also target the complete construction of the Binondo Intramuros Bridge in Manila. On the other hand, the Estrella Pantaleon Bridge connecting Makati and Mandaluyong is also expected to be finished by the third quarter of this year. Bridges in the countryside are also being prioritized to promote local and regional development. The completion of Abusa Bridge in Cagayan will reduce travel time between Tubigaraw City, Cagayan, and Bagao, Cagayan from 2 hours and 30 minutes to just 1 hour and 30 minutes. The project is targeted to be completed in 2021. The Tagum City flyover along Abusan Davao Road in Davao del Norte is already 87% complete. The construction of high-standard highways and expressways will not only give way to regional economic development, but contribute greatly to social growth. With reduced travel time, Filipinos will be able to visit their loved ones and friends more often. The completion of the Metro Cebu Expressway will reduce travel time between Naga City and Danao City from 3 hours to 1 hour and 10 minutes. The Naga-Minglanilla-Talisay boundary section is ongoing. The construction of the country's longest mountain tunnel has finally started under the Davao City Bypass Project. The 18-kilometer Davao City Coastal Road will reduce travel time from Toril to Poblacion from 45 minutes to 15 minutes. A large section of this project is to be completed this year. One of the game-changing projects of the government is the Luzon Spine Expressway Network Program. A total of 1,101 kilometers of high-standard highways, expressways in Luzon are targeted to be implemented to reduce travel time between Ilocos and Bicol from 20 hours to 9 hours. We have already completed last year the final section of the 89-kilometer Tiplex, the Tarlac-Pangasinan-La Union Expressway, and to further promote the development of Northern Luzon, Tiplex will be extended with an additional 59-kilometer section up to San Juan, La Union. The 30-kilometer Central Luzon Link Expressway is targeted to be finished by July of this year. Travel time from Tarlac City to Cabanatuan City will be reduced to just 20 minutes. The expansion and widening of Angat Bridge under the Artillery Road Bypass project is already completed. The completed NLEX Harbor Link Segment 10 has reduced travel time from Valenzuela City to C3 Caloocan City from 1 hour to just 5 minutes. Another NLEX Harbor Link is the C3 R10 section, which has shortened travel time from port area to NLEX and vice versa from 60 minutes to 10 minutes. One of the most awaited projects is the NLEX SLEX Connector Road, which is expected to reduce travel time from NLEX to SLEX from 2 hours to just 20 minutes. One of the recently opened projects is the Metro Manila Skyway Stage 3, which has reduced travel time from Buendia to Balintawak from 2 hours to 15 to 20 minutes. We also have the Alabang-Sucat Skyway Connection Ramp Extension, which is 62% complete, and the northbound ramp is already operational. With the completion of the NAES Phase 2, travel time between Skyway and Terminal 1 was reduced from 24 to 8 minutes. The Manila-Cavite Toll Expressway Project, C5 South Link Expressway, is a 7.7-kilometer expressway from R1 to SLEX C5. Travel time from R1 to C5 will be reduced from 40 minutes to 10 minutes. The Southeast Metro Manila Expressway, C6, will reduce travel time from Bicutan to Batasan from 1 hour and 50 minutes to 26 minutes and will benefit around 88,000 motorists per day. The construction of the 44-kilometer Cavite-Laguna Expressway will reduce travel time between Cavitex and SLEX from 1 hour and 30 minutes to 45 minutes. The Laguna section of the project is already complete, and the next exit will be open in the second quarter of this year. With the South Luzon Expressway Toll Road 4, travel time to Santo Tomas, Batangas to Lucena will be reduced from 4 hours to 1 hour and will benefit 17,000 travelers per day. The South Luzon Expressway Toll Road 5 is a 416-kilometer divided toll road from the terminal point of SLEX PR4 project and ends at Matlog Sorsogon. The evaluation of the project's basic design is ongoing. The ongoing 15-kilometer Camarines Sur Expressway will connect the municipalities of San Fernando and Pili in the province of Camarines Sur. Travel time will be reduced from 51 to 11 minutes. Expansion and improvement of road network in the regions are also being prioritized. The completion of the Sorsogon City Coastal Bypass is expected to reduce travel time by as much as 43 minutes. The 6-kilometer road project is already 78% complete and for completion this year. The Laguna-Quezon Connector will bring vast potential to the development of the local tourism industry. Travel time from Alaminos, Laguna to Chaong, Quezon will be reduced from 45 to 20 minutes. A large section is already open. The project is 35% complete. One of the priority projects of the department in Visayas is the 49-kilometer Bacolod-Negros Occidental Economic Highway, which aims to reduce travel time from Victoria City to Bacolod Silay Airport by 40 minutes. The project is 41% complete. Travel time between Barangay San Juan Ormoc City and Barangay Naungan Ormoc City will be reduced from 30 minutes to 10 minutes with the Ormoc City Diversion Road. The project is 84% complete and targeted to be open by August this year. The Samar Pacific Coastal Road is envisioned to link the so-called Pacific towns. Its completion would complement and eventually establish a circumferential road loop of Samar Island. The project is almost 50% complete. Currently, there's no direct linkage between Zamboanga del Norte and Zamboanga del Sur, second district. After the completion of the Sindangan-Bayog-Lakewood Road, the travel time of 6 hours between the two provinces will be reduced to about 2 hours. The project is now 60% complete. We also have the program for the support to rehabilitation and construction of Marawi City and its surrounding areas, which is scheduled to be completed by July of this year. The 3 road projects under the Improving Growth Corridors in Mindanao road sector is more than halfway complete, while the construction of the Gicam Bridge in Zamboanga, Sibugay started last January of 2021. Last but most definitely not the least is the 66 kilometers Suralya-Tibolis-San Jose Road. It will serve as an alternate route to General Santos City, which will reduce a 2-hour travel time by 45 minutes, and the project is 77% complete. While the time of the current administration is winding down, the infrastructure cluster will continue exerting all efforts to ensure that the Build, Build, Build program is implemented to its fullest extent. While the cluster's job is not yet mission accomplished, it is with full confidence that I take pride in the cluster's accomplishments over the last 5 years. Without a doubt, the achievements of the cluster will provide a good foundation for the next administration and will support the economy once it opens without restrictions. Moreover, I am honored with these accomplishments because through these, I, together with my fellow cluster members, as well as those supporting us in the background, have been of service to the Filipino people. I would like to thank everyone for supporting us in this 5-year journey. Thank you to the members of the infrastructure cluster who are in the forefront of delivering results of the cluster. Maraming salamat sa ating mga kababayan, sa inyong pagtitiwala at sa pag-unawa. The country had its shares of ups and downs over the past 5 years, and the cluster has not been perfect. Nonetheless, we've been able to persevere even amidst this pandemic because of the spirit, faith, and trust of the Filipino people. Muli, maraming salamat po at mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you, Secretary Villar, for the overview of our infrastructure cluster and for the updates on our Philippine inter-island connectivity through roads and bridges. Now, may I turn on the floor to the Presidential Advisor on Flagship Programs and Projects and Deputy Chief Implementer of the National Action Plan Against COVID-19, BCDA President and CEO, Secretary Vivencio Vince Dizon.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Paula, to our head of the economic team, Secretary Sunny Dominguez, to my partners in the infrastructure cluster led by Secretary Mark Villar and Secretary Arthur Gade, and to all our colleagues in government. Thank you very much. To the private sector, members of civil society, thank you very much for being here today. The presentation of Secretary Villar highlights that despite the very, very challenging and difficult moment for the entire country and the whole world, there is a ray of hope. And one of those rays of hope is really what the President started way back in 2016 when he took on the reins of government. And that is this unprecedented infrastructure build-up, which is aptly called Build, Build, Build. Secretary Villar has shown tremendous momentum in Build, 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 despite the pandemic and despite all of the challenges moving forward. Build, Build, Build will not only serve as a stimulus for our present situation, but will serve as a major part of our recovery moving forward. And for the BCDA group, we focused on one very, very important aspect of Build, Build, Build. And that is, how do we build a city unlike any other in the country today? how do we show a model for cities in the Philippines for the future? And we focus on Clark. I would like to share with you our updates on Clark, beginning with, I hope you can see the screen, beginning with a short video of what our vision was when we started out and moving forward into our updates of our progress in the past 4 or 5 years.
Clark is a city built as living proof that business in this part of the world is not only easy, but simply better. This is a city with limitless ambition, built for business and built for people so that life is always well lived. This is Clark.
The vision for Clark as part of the Build, Build, Build program has always been building a city for people. Simple as that may seem, unfortunately, many of our cities in the country and even in the world are not built for people. They are cities that are congested, that have been environmentally degraded, and simply in some cases unlivable. And we wanted to show that a city built, truly built for people was really possible. One of the major projects under the Build, Build, Build program is the Clark International Airport expansion. In 2018, we awarded the Clark International Airport contract to our partners, Megawide GMR. And also, a little after that, we awarded the operations and maintenance contract to a consortium involving Philinvest, Robinsons, PAGS, and the operator of the #1 airport in the world, Changi Airport Group. And in only 24 months, the renders that you see on your left are now almost reality. Our partners have made this possible, and it is truly a testament to how an effective public-private partnership can work. In cooperation with the DOTR, we are very, very happy to report that we are now in the final stages of fit out and equipping the airport at 80%. And we are confident that we will be able to inaugurate this world-class airport run by world-class operators next month. Because of the investments that we have made in Clark and the infrastructure investments under Build, 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 we were able to convince and attract a major logistics operator, the #1 logistics operator in the world, FedEx, to come back to the Philippines and make Clark its home. And today, we have in a 2.6 hectare facility in the airport complex, FedEx is almost complete with its state-of-the-art facility that will hopefully be operational by the 3rd quarter of this year. Thanks to the work of the Department of Transportation led by Secretary Tugade, the Clark International Airport Corporation, the Clark Development Corporation, and DCDA, we were able to attract FedEx back to the Philippines, and with even more prospects of expansion for the future. The next project that really highlights our vision of making Clark into not only a city of the future, but a city truly for people, is New Clark City. A testament to the vision of continuity and the principles of continuity of the Duterte administration, this project, which was started by the previous administration, was not only continued, but was vigorously fast-tracked by the current administration. And because of this, we now have the beginnings of a truly modern, green, resilient, and smart city. As many of you experienced, months before the pandemic hit us, the nation celebrated as we won as overall champion of the 2019 Southeast Asian Games. And not only did we win overall champion, we also won the admiration of countries all over ASEAN, including our more developed countries, our more developed neighbors, because of the facilities we built, not only for the Southeast Asian Games, but for every Filipino athlete in the coming years. Our athletes performed so well in world-class facilities, the first of their kind built since the 1930s, when the Philippine government, still then under the American Commonwealth, built the Rizal Memorial Sports Complex in Manila. And it has truly given us pride, but we're not stopping there. As President Duterte signed Executive Order 21 last year, President Duterte made the bold move of mandating government offices to begin the process of relocating, beginning with their satellite offices from Metro Manila to New Clark City. Not only will this build up this brand new city that we are developing just less than 100 kilometers from the nation's capital, but it will also help tremendously in the decongestion of Metro Manila for its urban renewal in the future. And because of this bold action on the part of the Duterte administration, we see that we have attracted major partners in the private sector, not only in the Philippines, but all over the world. We have been joined by the likes of AECOM, the likes of the Japan Overseas Network for Transport and Urban Development, Sorbana Jurong of Singapore, Changi Airports Group, Marubeni Corporation of Japan, Kansai Electric, Chubu Electric, the Tahal Group of Israel, and also GMR of India. All of these top-notch infrastructure and development firms have joined us in promoting and developing this new city because of the bold vision and the bold execution of the Duterte administration in the last 3 years. New Clark City is a 9,450 hectare property with a projected population of 1.2 million people, projected employment of more than 600,000 workers, providing for land rights through either lease or joint venture agreements, and has, as we have shown, has already attracted many of the major developers both in the Philippines and abroad. The New Clark City's government center has already attracted major government agencies to relocate to New Clark City, beginning with the UPPGH and also with a major grant from the British government to provide green spaces throughout New Clark City. We have also attracted the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, who will begin construction of a 30-hectare facility, which includes the minting and currency production facility that is currently in East Avenue in Quezon City, and which will relocate in New Clark City in the next few years. Construction of this facility will begin by the last quarter of this year or early next year. The Supreme Court will build its first Judiciary Regional Center in almost 6 hectares in New Clark City, on almost 6 hectares in New Clark City, beginning next year. The Department of Agriculture has just signed for a 30-hectare agro-industrial hub and National Seed Technology Park, which it will build starting this year. The National Academy of Sports, a law that was signed last year on June 9, will build on a 3-hectare facility and will provide training for our booming athletes all the way from high school and as they transition to university and as they train for the national training pool. Very important for our pandemic response in the future is the establishment of the Virology Science and Technology Institute of the Philippines by the Department of Science and Technology. This will also find its home in CLA. The National Bureau of Investigation will be moving to a huge facility together with other justice agencies in the coming months. Philinvest Land is almost completed with phase 1 of its 288 hectare property, roughly about 100 hectares, and will begin to accept locators in the third or fourth quarter of 2021. The first banyan tree resort in the country will open in the next couple of years in a 450-hectare mountain resort area together with Widas Group, a Korean investor who also owns Marriott in Clark. Another Korean group will also be building a golf club and resort in a 250-hectare property in the mountains of New Clark City. Construction already began in 2018, and this will continue on, hopefully will finish by the year 2022, despite the challenges of the pandemic. So as you can see, we have really shown that if you build it, they will come. And as we have shown in the many projects showcased by Secretary Villar, and those that will be showcased by Secretary Tugade, and those that you now see in Clark with the airport in New Clark City, once we build it, investments will come even despite the pandemic. And we are looking forward to this building momentum even past the Duterte administration and moving into the next administration. With that, thank you very much to everyone, and please continue on staying safe, and God bless us all as we move towards hopefully the end of this very difficult time in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Secretary Vince Dizon, for those updates on our new Clark and sustainable city, as well as our new investors in the Philippines. Now, may we call on the stage our Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Secretary Arthur Tugade, to provide updates on the transportation sector. Thank you very much, Secretary Tugade. The floor is now yours.
The Honorable Secretary of Finance, Secretary Sunny Dominguez, my fellow servants in government, distinguished guests, friends from the media, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. When the Duterte administration took office in May 2016, we were greeted with numerous long-standing issues that have tormented the countries for years and even decades. I remember fully well when we were only starting to take on the challenge 5 years ago. The Filipino people have pinned their hopes to the new administration then, with eyes intently and critically watching on what we would do next. 5 taon ho nakakaraan na kung saan binabato at tinatanong at karamihan kinukutya yung administrasyon kung paano aadresin po yung mga problema na dinatnan namin nung ang administrasyon Duterte ay naupo. 5 years ago, problems seemed insurmountable. Some even thought addressing them was impossible. But as I always said, what's...
Marvin? Oo. Wala kang audio, Marvin. Okay? Marvin? Narinig mo na kami? Sige, babalikan po natin na si Marvin na medyo nawala po yung ating audio para dito. Samantala, libreng drive-thru swab test para sa mga PUV drivers sa Davao City. Simula na ngayong araw, ihahatid yan ni Julius Pacot ng PTV Davao.
Yes, ngayon nga ang unang araw ng pagsasagawa ng libreng swab test drive-thru program ng City Government of Davao para sa mga PUV drivers ng lungsod. Ito ang nasabing hakbang ay alinsunod sa ipinalabas na Executive Order number 22 Series of 2021 ni Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte noong araw Biyernes. Ang EO22 o ang Order for Providing for Heightened Surveillance and Response of COVID-19 Cases in Public Ground Transport and Delivery Services in Davao City. Dahil nga sa linya ng hanap buhay ng mga PUV driver ay malaking posibilidad na mahawaan sila ng COVID-19. Kaya isa ito sa mga sektor na ginawan ng surveillance swabbing ng LGU. Ilan sa mga pwedeng mag-avail sa libreng COVID-19 o RT-PCR swab testing ay mga PUG driver, van drivers, habal-habal or motorcycle drivers, tricycle drivers, bus drivers at ang mga motorcycle drivers ng food and online item delivery services. Batay na rin sa nasabing EO ay hindi na mandatory sa mga PUV driver na sumailalim sa quarantine habang naghihintay ng resulta. Ilan sa mga requirements na kailangan dalhin ng mga PUV driver ay magdala ng sariling ballpen, driver's license at maging government-issued ID. Ang nasabing libreng RT-PCR testing ay magtatagal hanggang Mayo 8, 2021. Kung saan gaganapin ito mula alas 8:30 hanggang alas 11:30 ng umaga mula Lunes hanggang Sabado. At yan muna ang latest mula dito sa Davao City. Julius Patot para sa Bayan.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, Julius Paco. Tuloy-tuloy naman po ang pagbibigay ng bakuna kontra COVID-19 ng Caloocan City sa mga residente nitong kabilang sa A1 hanggang A3 priority list. Ngayong araw ay nagbakuna na ito ng second dose ng COVID-19 vaccine sa health workers at may comorbidity. Ang update niya na alamin natin mula kay Clazel Padilla. Clazel?
Opo, Yusek Rocky, sinimula na nga ng Caloocan City Local Government Unit ang pagbibigay ng ikalawang dose ng COVID-19 vaccine sa kanilang mga residente. Aabot sa 500 residente ng Caloocan City ang tuturukan ng ikalawang dose ng bakuna ngayong araw. Sila ang first batch ng mga residenteng nakatanggap ng unang dose ng Sinovac noong March 29. At Yusek Rocky, kabilang nga po rito si Mang Ronaldo de la Rosa na tinamaan ng COVID-19 nito lamang nakaraan taon. Halos mag-agaw buhay daw siya noon at dahil sa takot na maulit pa ang mapait na karanasan, nagdesisyon si Mang Ronaldo na magpaturok ng bakuna at ngayon nga ay pang second dose na niya. Tingin niya nga raw parang nakalaya na siya sa pandemya. Narito ang kanyang pahayag.
Nung dumating na itong bakuna, at isa ako sa may pagkakataon magpabakuna, hindi na ako nagdalawang isip. Masaya ako. Basta nasa isip ko, makakatulong sa akin eh. Yun lang ang tingin ko makakapagpalaya sa akin eh. Kaya gusto ko, kaysa isipin natin na may side effect.
So far, Yusek Rocky, wala pa namang nakaranas ng adverse effects following immunization. Yung mga naturukan po rito ng bakuna sa Glorieta Tala at ongoing pa ang pagbibigay ng second dose ng bakuna dito, pati na rin sa Gregoria de Jesus Elementary School, Buena Park Covered Court at Caloocan City Hall Covered Court. Kaugnay nito ay nagsasagawa rin ng libreng antigen testing ang Caloocan. Bukas ang libreng community rapid testing sa mga residente na may sintomas ng COVID o may close contact sa isang COVID positive. 25,000 na po ang kaso ng COVID dito sa Caloocan City. 1,737 ay active cases at 22,622 naman ang nakarecover na. At yan naman ang pinakahuling balita mula po rito sa Caloocan. Balik po dyan sa studio.
Salamat sa iyo, Clazel Padilla. Aabot po sa 4,000 katutubong AITA mula po sa Pampanga ang natulungan ng pamahalaan at ng tanggapan ni Senator Bongo para makabangon mula sa dagok ng pandemya. Narito po ang report.
Pagtatanim ng mga gulay ang kinabubuhay ng mga katutubong AITA sa Pampanga. Ngayon, nagsisimula pa lang silang magtanim.
Seasonal po ang aming pagtatanim. Ngayon po ay paglilinis pa po namin ang aming tataniman at ibig po sabihin kami po ay nasa kasalukuyang pagtatanim at wala po kaming ma-harvest ngayong panahon.
Kaya laking pasalamat nila sa pagdating ng ayuda na hindi nila inaasahan. Ang tanggapan ni Senador Bongo na mahagi ng pagkain, grocery items, vitamins, mask at face shield sa 5 komunidad ng Aita sa Porac, Pampanga alinsunod sa umiiral na health protocols. Nasa 2,622 na mga katutubong Aita ang tumanggap ng ayuda.
Salamat po na sa araw po na to na mabibili namin po yung gusto namin pong makain ng aking anak. At saka po, yung mga kababayan ko po, lahat po kami na siya.
Napakalaking tulong po, sir. Kasi po, hindi na po kami mahihirapan pumunta sa bundok ng ilang araw. Meron na po kaming pagkain na mapagkukuhanan, pambili ng pagkain, mga pagkain ng mga bata, tsaka yung gamot din po.
Bukod sa bayan ng Porac, pinuntahan din ng tanggapan ni Senador Go ang mga katutubong Aita sa Florida Blanca. Nasa 1,320 na mga katutubo ang tumanggap ng ayuda.
Sa mga staff niya pong nag-atid po dito sa amin, kahit po malayo, pinilit po nila makaakyat dito sa amin sa bundok. Kan po mga kulot, nahihirapan po talaga kami. Kaya nagpapasalamat po kami sa tulong niya binigay niya.
Senador Bongo, sana po marami pa po ay matutulungan, kagaya po namin mga Aita. Kahit may pandemic, nandyan po kayo, nandyan tumulong po sa amin.
Bukod sa tulong ni Go, ang DSWD ay may pinamahagi ring pinansyal na tulong sa mga katutubong Aita sa Porac at Florida Blanca. Ganon din ang DA, DTI at DOH. May kanya-kanyang programang inilatag na makatutulong sa mga katutubong Aita.
Alam ko po, mahirap ang sitwasyon ngayon dahil po sa krisis na dulot ng COVID-19. Mga kababayan ko, magtulungan lang po tayo. Malalampasan rin natin itong krisis na ito bilang nagkakaisang mamamayang Pilipino.
Sa kanyang mensahe sa mga Aita, tiniyak ng senador na kabilang sila sa mababakunahan kapag natapos na lahat ng mga frontliners. Pinaalalahanan din ni Go ang mga katutubo na huwag silang magdalawang isip na lumapit sa mga malasakit center sa lalawigan sa oras na may sakit o karamdaman sila na kailangan nilang magpagamot sa mga ospital.
Tandaan natin, minsan lang po tayo dadaan sa mundong ito. Kung ano pong kabutihan o tulong na pwede natin gawin sa ating kapwa-tao, gawin na po natin ngayon dahil hindi na po tayo babalik sa mundong ito. Kami po ni Pangulong Duterte, patuloy ho kaming magsiservisyo sa inyo lahat. Dahil para sa amin, ang serbisyo po sa tao ay serbisyo po yan sa Diyos. Maraming salamat po, mahal na mahal po namin kayo.
Kasabay ng patuloy na maritime standoff sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at China ay ang usapin din ng umano'y overfishing sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya naman patuloy rin po ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources para po pangalagaan ng ating mga karagatan. Kaugnay niyan, makakausap po natin si BIFAR National Director Undersecretary Eduardo Gongona. Magandang umaga po, Yusek.
Magandang umaga po, Madam. Director Gongona lang po ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Magandang umaga po at sa inyong mga tagapakinig. Good morning.
My apologies po, Director. Nito pong weekend ay nagsagawa po kayo ng comprehensive maritime exercises kasama po ang Philippine Coast Guard sa West Philippine Sea. So, kumusta po ang kinalabasan nito? Hindi po ba kayo nagkaproblema doon sa mga Chinese vessel?
Sinusuportahan po namin ang mga efforts ng government, especially dun sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya ang Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources ay sumasama po sa mga ginagawa activities po doon. Recently, nag-conduct po sila ng exercises kasama po yung Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, monitoring control surveillance vessels po namin. 5 po sila doon. And okay naman po yung report sa amin ng Philippine Coast Guard. And ang significant effort ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, pati ng ibang ahensya na kasama po doon, gaya ng Philippine Coast Guard and the Philippine National Police at iba pa, ay para pangalagaan yung ating mga fishermen doon, ang ating mga fishing vessels, ang environment, at saka yung pinaka-significant effort doon to prevent illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, and of course yung aming pagpapatupad ng fishery laws po sa ating bansa. Thank you very much. Good morning po.
Opo. Director, gaano po ba kalaki ang pinag-uusapan nating yamang dagat sa loob ng exclusive economic zone natin sa bahagi ng West Philippine Sea?
Ang estimated production ng buong West Philippine Sea sa taong 2020 ay tinatayang 324,312 metric tons at nakapag-ambag ito ng 7.36% sa production ng buong sektor ng pangisdaan po sa Pilipinas. At ang estimated po na production data na ito ay pinagsamasamang datos ng produksyon ng marine capture fisheries, yung galing sa dagat, at ang ng parehong municipal at commercial fishers sectors ng mga rehiyon at probinsyang nakaharap sa West Philippine Sea. At ang mga region po ito na nakaharap sa West Philippine Sea ay ang Region 1, Region 3, Region 4B, and part of National Capital Region. Kaya po ay mahalaga po sila dahil nag-aambag po sila ng kaukulang 7.36% ng buong produksyon ng Pilipinas po sa pangisdaan.
Director, meron po ba daw na ebidensya ng di umano'y overfishing doon, lalo na ngayong may nagaganap na maritime dispute sa lugar?
Madam, sa ngayon po ay patuloy tayo nangangalap ng mga maraming impormasyon tungkol sa hangganan ng epekto ng fishing activities ng mga Chinese fishing vessels sa West Philippine Sea. Kasabay ito ay pinalakas natin ang ating pagpapatrolya kasama ang buong task force ng West Philippine Sea upang labanan kung mayroon mang overfishing na nagaganap po doon.
Opo, Director, sinabi po ng isang grupo ng mga scientists na posible nga daw pong mag-collapse ang buong fishing industry sa bansa kapag daw po nagpatuloy pa yung illegal fishing ng mga Chinese vessels na ito. Ano po ang masasabi nyo dito?
Madam, nais natin bigyan din na malawak ang pangisdaan ng Pilipinas. Malawak po ang pangisdaan ng Pilipinas. At marami tayong mayayamang lugar pangisdaan bukod sa West Philippine Sea. Sa katunayan, isa sa mayayamang bahagi ng ating karagatan ang municipal waters na siyang pinakapangunahing lugar, pangitlugan at tirahan ng mga isda at iba pang lamang dagat po. At bukod dyan, sa capture fisheries subsector na may sakop ng marine, municipal at commercial fishing sa iba pang mga bahagi ng bansa. Nariyan din aquaculture subsector na patuloy ang paglago ng produksyon itong mga nakaraang taon. Bunga na rin ng iba't ibang programa ng pamahalaan sa pamamagitan ng Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Gayunpaman, totoong malaki ang kahalagaan ng West Philippine Sea bilang isang lugar pangisdaan para sa libu-libong nating mga mangingisdang Pilipino. Dapat lamang na atin itong pagyamanin at bigyang proteksyon sa anumang gawaing sumisira ng mga likas na yaman nito. Ang anupang pong pagkasira nito ay magkakaapekto sa ibang bahagi ng ating karagatan at maging sa karagatan ng ibang bansa dahil sa dapat nating tandaan ang ating karagatan o katubigan ay magkakaugnay. Kaya naman patuloy na isinusulong natin ang ating kasarilan sa West Philippine Sea at kinukundina natin ang lahat ng mga posibleng illegal na pangingisda doon. At kung may naapektuhan mang mga mangingisda dahil sa mga incidenting ito, sinisiguro po namin sa inyo na ang pamahalaan ay patuloy na tumutugon sa sitwasyon. Sa sitwasyon po ng kung meron mang naapektuhan. Thank you, Madam.
Opo. Director, may tanong
Hello?
na may follow-up po dyan si Celerina Monte ng Manila Shimbun sa inyo. Ito po yung tanong niya, with the presence of Chinese vessels, including their fishing vessels in the West Philippine Sea, do you expect Filipino catch to dwindle daw po in that particular area? If so, how much?
Nasabi nung po namin na sa buong pangisdaan ng Pilipinas, ang naiko-contribute ng West Philippine Sea is more than 7% ng buong catch ng Pilipinas. Pero mahalaga po siya kasi karamihan ng catch po sa kanya ay pumupunta po yan sa Metro Manila. No? Kaya kailangan pangalagaan po natin siya at kailangan lang na makuha natin yung fair share natin sa na-catch natin sa West Philippine Sea para naman sa ating food production, no? Para sa ating Fish-to-PCC program, and of course yung food security natin. May negatibong effect talaga ang illegal fishing, kaya ito ay siyang tinutugunan natin. Ang illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing ay pangunahing mandato po ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources. Kaya sa West Philippine Sea, kung meron man illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing, ay kami po ay kailangan nandoon, ang mga barko natin, kasama na yung ating mga kaibang ahensya na makakatulong po doon para lang ang illegal, unreported, unreported, unregulated fishing ay matuguran po natin doon at saka mapangalagaan po natin ang ating mga fishermen, pangalagaan yung fishing vessels, and of course yung environment na pinagkukunan natin ng mga produktong yaman dagat po sa West Philippine Sea. At sa issue na marami siya, sabi natin na we are kailangan natin makuha talaga yung share natin na para sa na makatch natin yung mga isda na dapat nating usually na nakakatch po natin because kailangan natin yan sa food security natin. Kailangan natin na magkaroon ng supply ng isda dito sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa Metro Manila.
Opo, Director, ang tanong po ni Celerina, nagkaroon po ba ng epekto sa ating mga activity dyan or yung ating mga nakukuha na harvest dyan sa bahagi ng yan sa West Philippine Sea, yung presence po ng Chinese or fishing vessels?
Threatened po tayo, no? Kaso, kung ako ang tatanungin, personally, kailangan lang talaga natin na i-let po natin ang ating mga fishermen, encourage po natin siya na lumabas at mangisda doon sa West Philippine Sea kasi kailangan natin na makuha natin yung dapat na mahuli natin na isda po doon. Marami din po yun, no? More than 300,000 metric tons every year. And inihikayat namin sila na wag matatakot po doon kasi ang purpose po natin pumunta doon ay mangisda. Hindi tayo nagpupunta doon para kung ano mang ibang bagay, kundi mangisda tayo because that is our common fishing grounds, that is our traditional fishing ground. Kaya nga, ang inihikayat natin na ang ating mga mangingisda ay pumunta po doon. At sa amin naman, sa gobyerno, kailangan sinusuportahan natin yung ating mga mangingisda, we protect them, we protect the fishermen and the fishing vessels, and of course the environment. At saka, ipinapatupad natin yung ating mandato as sa gaya ng sa amin, mandato o fisheries code na kailangan talagang ipatupad natin kasi lalo na yung West Philippine Sea na lugar na nasa Pilipinas. And we have to do that. Yes, sir.
Opo, follow-up po ni Celerina, do you intend po to file charges against these Chinese fishermen in our local courts?
Meron po tayong National Task Force po, West Philippine Sea. Inuugnay po namin ang lahat ng effort po sa kanila at yan sila po ang nangunguna po doon and pag meron mang mga issues na nakikita po sila doon, lalo na kung merong nag-encroach, sila po ay they make recommendations para lang magkaroon tayo ng ang ginagawa po natin ngayon ay continuous protest ng mga presence kung napipil natin na we are on the disadvantage. Kung at ito ay sinusolve natin sa whole of nation approach. Kaya nga nandiyan po yung National Task Force West Philippine Sea. At member po kami doon at sinusuportahan po namin kung ano man ang dapat na aksyon na dapat gawin po. And ganun po. Kami ay in full support at kung kailangan ng asset ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources para magpatrolya doon, talagang sumasama po kami. Sinesend po namin yan and we have made this made this commitment para talagang mapangalagaan ang ating fisherman, ang mga fishing vessels, and of course the environment.
Okay, follow up, may tanong po si Joseph Morong ng GMA News. In your monitoring, ano po ang ginagawa ng mga Chinese vessels sa West Philippine Sea? Ano po ang activities daw po nila doon?
According to the report of National Task Force West Philippine Sea, ay wala pong report na talagang ang ating mga fisherman ay minamaltrato po doon or on the disadvantage. Naghihintay pa rin po kami ng mga reports tungkol dyan. And we just feel that our fishermen are threatened, no? Pero ang kailangan lang talaga ay hikayatin natin, encourage them na talagang dapat nandun sila. Of course, yung other side, kung kiniklaim nila yung area, they will be putting up some activities there. Pero ako ang tatanungin, kung ako yung mangingisda, hindi ako matatakot pumunta doon kasi yung gobyerno, kailangan basta maibigay lang ng confidence ng gobyerno na they are there to fish. So kailangan yung BIFAR and Coast Guard and the others ay nandyan din para pangalagaan sila. Protect them, the fishermen, protect the fishing vessels, and of course, protect the environment na nagpuproduce ng ganyang mga yamang dagat na kailangan natin sa food security. May mga posibleng nagaganap na illegal fishing ayon sa pahayag ng task force, kaya tayo ay nagpapakita ng presensya doon. And of course, all other issues ay kina-qualify pa rin. But yung Philippine Coast Guard na nangagalaga ng environment ay nandun po basically para pangalagaan ang ating fisherman, ang ating mga fishing vessels, and of course yung environment na nagpuproduce nitong yamang dagat na po ito para sa ating food security.
Okay. Kami po ay nagpapasalamat sa inyong panahon, BIFAR National Director Eduardo Gongona. Mabuhay po kayo. Salamat po sa inyong oras, Director.
Salamat po, Madam. Anytime po, and I hope na nagawan po namin ng masabi ko lang po, Madam, na inihikayat namin ang mga coastal communities na sumali po sa MMK, Malinis at Masaganang Karagatan. Kasi ito ay pinagtatagoy nila ang pangalagaan ng ating municipal water na talagang napaka-importante kasi nagpupudos po siya ng mga isda, dyan siya nag-regenerate, dyan nag-spawn, para yung isda na yan ay pag-adult na napupunta po sa West Philippine Sea. Masabi ko lang na 92% ng production ng galunggong ay galing sa Palawan. And Palawan is part of West Philippine Sea. Pag mayroong galunggong at other small pelagic, yan ang pagkain ng Pilipino, fish-eating Filipinos, pagkain din po yan ng mga malalaking isda. Kaya ngayong panahon nga, open fishing season dyan, pati yung malalaking isda, migratory fish like tuna, marami po dyan ngayon kasi may pagkain sila. Kaya nga, dapat pangalagaan natin ang ating municipal water, lalong-lalo na yun sa West Philippine Sea. Thank you very much. Good morning po.
Okay, maraming salamat po sa inyong panahon, Director. Samantala, puntahan naman natin ang mga balitang nakalap ng Philippine Broadcasting Service kasama si John Mogol ng PBS Radio Pilipinas. John?
Magandang tanghali po, Yusek Rocky. Narito ang ating mga balita. Sa Ilocos Region, halos 70 magsasaka mula sa lungsod ng Lawag ang nakatanggap ng indemnity checks mula sa Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation o PCIC. Mula Lawag, narito ang kabuuang detalye mula kay Monica Camille.
COVID Radio. Hashtag Laging Handa Radyo Pilipinas Special Coverage. 67 magsasaka mula sa iba't ibang barangay sa lungsod ng Lawaga ang nakatanggap ng indemnity checks mula sa Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation. Ayon kay Mrs. Marilyn Martin, Lawaga City Agriculture Officer, ang tulong pinansyal ay para sa mga magsasaka upang mapalitan ang kanilang gastos sa kanilang mga produkto at alagang hayop na nasalanta ng mga nakaraang bagyo, pagbaha at peste. Ani ni Martin, hindi pare-pareho ang natanggap ng bawat magsasaka dahil nakadepende ang makukuhang tulong pinansyal sa lawak ng sinasakang naapektuhan at pinsala ng pananim. Dagdag pa niya, malaking tulong ang pera upang magkaroon muli ng panibagong puhunan ang mga magsasaka lalo na ngayong panahon ng pandemya. Patuloy ang suporta ng lokal na pamahalaan at naturang kagawaran sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda upang maiangat ang sektor ng agrikultura sa lungsod. Hinihikayat ni Martin ang mga magsasaka na mag-apply upang masiguro ang mga alagang tanim at hayop. Mula dito sa lungsod ng Lawaga, Monica Camille, nag-uulat para sa Radyo Pilipinas.
Samantala sa Bicol Region, food bank ng iba't ibang himpilan ng pulisya sa Catanduanes ang binuksan para sa komunidad. Mula Virac magbabalita si Juris Alpapara.
COVID Radio. Hashtag Laging Handa Radyo Pilipinas Special Coverage.
Kasabay ng pagsulpot ng iba't ibang community pantry sa bansa ay nakiisa na rin ang kapulisan ng Catanduanes para sa kaparehong obheto. Nitong Sabado, formal nang binuksan sa komunidad ng PNP Catanduanes ang Kasurog Food Bank sa ilalim ng programang tinawag nilang Barangayanihan. Naging posible ito sa pamamagitan ng pinagsama-samang ambag o tulong ng mga tauhan ng iba't ibang himpilan ng pulisya at iba pang mga donor. Ilan sa mga himpilan dito, ginawang mobile ang kanilang food bank. Yan ay upang mas maabot nito ang mga totoong nangangailangan na nasa malalayong lugar. Matatandaan na noong nakaraang taon ay may programa na rin ang PNP Catanduanes na Kapwa Ko, Sagot Ko at magpahanggang ngayon ay nagpapatuloy ito upang mabigyan ng tulong ang mga nangangailangang katandunganon. Samantala, maliban sa 11 municipal police stations ay nakatakdaring buksan ngayong araw, April 26, ang food bank naman ng Catanduanes Police Provincial Office at Catanduanes 1st Provincial Mobile Force Company. Hali Vera Catanduanes, Juris Alpapara, Radyo Pilipinas.
Yusek Rocky, yan po ang ilang updates mula sa ating mga lalawigan. Balik po sa inyo sa studio.
Maraming salamat sa iyo, John Magol ng PBS Radyo Pilipinas. At dito po nagtatapos ang ating programa sa araw na ito. Ako po ang inyong likod, Yusek Rocky Ignacio mula sa PCOO. Hanggang bukas pong muli dito sa Public Briefing. Hashtag Laging Handa PH.
Kaya natin to. Kaya natin to.